just a heavy academic research, though that is sorely needed, but also the descriptive type. Here's what you can do to make a more secure network. Here's what you can do to encourage more digital content creation. Here's what you can do to raise up new forms of internet innovation in your communities. Those are things I believe that the next phase of our internet governance outreach approach and engagement can really make a big difference to helping accelerate the advance. I can commit in terms of Caribnog, Carpif, what we're doing with the IORG outreach to tackle these issues, but I do believe that it needs a whole community approach if it has to be successful. No one organization could take this upon themselves to make it come to pass.
All right, point taken. I see Kim Malili. She had made a comment, but I guess she wants to expand on it. Go ahead, Kim.
Oh, no, not that comment, Nigel. Yeah, hi Bevel, hi friends. Yeah, Bevel and all of the IORGs. One of the things that you might consider, and I know the CTU has done this, is to, where possible, create a little space for youth to speak at fora such as this. Right now, in amongst the 34 participants here, there are a few young ones from UE that I'm very happy were able to participate. And so you may want to consider that in the future. If you have a space, put a slot in for them.
Thanks, Kim. Really, thanks for that. I should have made a mention earlier that we do plan in the near term to launch something called the Next Gen Camp. It's not actually a camp, but it's a forum where we're hoping we could specifically target under the Caribnog umbrella young network or aspiring network engineers, persons who have an interest in it, not sure what it involves or what it entails, and give them an opportunity to see and to learn from and stand alongside seasoned network engineers, but also give those engineers to get an understanding of what kind of new talent pool is emerging across the region. And that's one of the things that I am hoping for. But to your point, I think there's so much more that can be done to create spaces for them to share what they are seeing as the new and next generation opportunities for participation in this space. And I do believe we need to get that organized as a matter of urgent priority.
Just quickly on this point, yeah. I've just put in the chat a link to the ICANN version of what Bevel was discussing, which is also called Next Gen. We have this space within ICANN for the Next Gen who are university level students to come in and make presentations on different aspects of internet development and so on. And I've just put the details in there so you can take a look at it. And the whole idea is that anytime an ICANN meeting is taking place in a particular region, like the fellows, the Next Gen also have an opportunity to have their participation structured and sponsored by ICANN. So thank you for bringing that up, Kim.
All right. Is there still a hand up that I'm missing? Oh, it was Albert's hand. Okay. Albert spoke. All right. Apart from that, I'm not seeing any other hands right now. Let me see if I've missed anything in the chat. Just Tarek thanking Albert for the link on regarding Next Gen, which is fine. All right. Just look a few more seconds. Oh, Rodney wants to challenge, but I'll leave Rodney to issue his challenge. Okay. His chat is he wants to challenge anyone, at least one person who has not spoken or sent a message to do so. Thanks for the challenge, Rodney. It is open mic indeed. So we'll wait a few seconds or a little while again to see if I get any hands or additional messages.
Hey, Sandra, should I call you out? You've made a few useful suggestions offline.
Pardon me?
I'm calling you out because you've made some suggestions offline. Nobody took my challenge.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I had made a comment to Rodney just directly to him, and that was with respect to us in the Caribbean. When we go to these international forums, I know sometimes we don't have maybe a good representation, as was mentioned earlier, but it is important that we do have some sort of representation, because I find that we sometimes get lost in the Latin America and the Caribbean discussion, and the Caribbean would be a very small part of the Latin America and the Caribbean. So the Latin America perspective gets more attention and more reaction. So I really look forward to, as we go forward, making sure that we have a presence at the international meetings going forward. Thank you.
Thank you for taking my challenge.
Thank you.
Always up to the challenge, Rodney.
Thank you. Shunan also left a message on the chat that ISOC also has a youth ambassador program, and he gave the link. So so be further, and there are the fellowship opportunities as well in the various IORGs. Kim, you're back. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to confirm, to reiterate it. Yes, I am aware, and in fact, Tariq, who is on the call today, he is a youth ambassador with the ITU, and the ITU is very deliberate in its program of support and encouragement and advocacy amongst the youth. So Tariq, in fact, is in the ITU Youth Next Generation program. But what I was referring to specifically, though, is in Caribbean-wide events such as this. So yes, each of the IORGs, certainly at the international level and somewhat at the regional level, there are youth arms and youth channels. But also, what I am more concerned with in my comment had to do with the Caribbean fora and not just the parent organizations.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Well, last year we were able to do a special session, actually run by Guild of Undergrads at UE. Didn't happen this year, but the point will be taken. Mr. Denzel West, long time no see. Yep, you may have the floor.
Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. I'm not one to leave a challenge go unanswered, so that's why I jumped in.
Wonderful.
And I wanted to first of all say belated congratulations for Rodney on his new job title.
Thank you.
Right. And how happy I am to see so many of my colleagues that I've known through the years. Nothing necessarily I'd planned to say, just to indicate that I've been working diligently on some projects here in Montserrat that are now coming to fruition. And I look forward, I'm going to be speaking to Beville offline and Rodney, so that in future discussions, I can perhaps make a presentation on what I've been up to and focusing on over these years that you haven't seen me on the road.
All right, not a problem. We look forward to that actually, sooner rather than later. Carlton, you wanted to say something again.
No, Nigel, that's old hand.
Oh, it's an old hand. Oh, okay. All right. All right. The mic is still open. So let's see if we...
Hello. This is June Paris.
Yes, June.
From Barbados.
Yes.
I just want to remind my colleagues that there's quite a lot of opportunities internationally out there at the UN and the UN affiliated organizations. I think Anya spoke a bit about the NRIs yesterday.
Yes.
And I also want to talk a bit about the dynamic coalitions and the best practice forums. Yes, I feel we should have lots of things in the Caribbean for the Caribbean people, but in order to meet and have other opportunities outside of the Caribbean, I think we should get involved in some of these international organizations. I've been involved for the last 4 years internationally, and they're always trying to encourage the people in the Caribbean to join up with them. I'm not sure if people are getting emails or if they are going on to the IGF website and checking for themselves. For example, funding, there's lots of funding there. Lots of opportunities with the dynamic coalitions and the best practice forums to showcase your work. I think that we do really, really well in the Caribbean, but we have to let them know how well we are doing, and we have to put our feet forward and go on the platforms and talk about what we're doing in the Caribbean, because sometimes I feel a bit left out when I'm the only one there. I do see, what's his name? Niall. He attends a lot of these meetings. I see him, and I see there's somebody from the Caribbean as well that I saw in Berlin. Can't remember who it was.
June?
And there was Tracy Hackshaw, of course, and
Tracy Hackshaw.
What's his name? Can't remember her name. There was like 5 of us from the Caribbean in Berlin, and it was a bit like, I was thinking the other islands and the other places are so well represented that I felt a bit like left out, like I wasn't, that we weren't taking part enough.
Yeah.
We have a lot of knowledge and we have a lot of experience, and we need to let them know how good we are. So
June?
that's my bit.
June, before you go,
yeah,
I would like you to say how you got involved.
I got involved quite accidentally. I went to the IGF in Barbados and I loved it so much. I thought I will try going to, there was one in Geneva. I was actually traveling to the UK, and I thought, okay, since I'm going to be in the UK, let me go to the IGF, the global IGF in Geneva. And while I was there, I met some people who were on the MAG and the dynamic coalitions and the best practice forums. And they encouraged me to come to the meeting. There was a meeting. They wanted new members. And they said to me, oh, come with us to the meeting. And I went with them to the meeting. And when I said I was from Barbados, they got so excited. They were very excited, I'm telling you. So that's.
And if you don't mind, can you tell us what your profession or your career has been? What are you by profession?
I'm a general nurse, a psychiatric nurse. I've got a bachelor's degree in sociology, and I've got a master's in economics and health management. But I haven't worked. I mean, when I say I'm a nurse, people think I'm working as a nurse in the hospital, but I've been working with technology for a number of years. Building programs for the health service and researching information for these health systems. So it wasn't. I say I'm a nurse because I'm proud of it, but I didn't do a lot of nursing. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but
no, that's fine. But no, but actually, there was a reason
I did everything else.
There was a reason I was going on that line, because we obviously just stumbled onto the IGF in Barbados and took it to a whole other level from there, and that is actually what I'm talking about, a broadening participation. And of course, it wasn't just you brought along other people as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, but they like us, and they like what we're doing. They know that we're doing well out here, and they're interested in us, and they're asking about us, and they're trying to get us involved. So I just want, we don't have to give up what we've got here, but we can get involved with what they're doing as well and show them a few tricks. That's what I mean. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thanks for that, June. Much appreciated. We are still open. It's almost 4. If anyone else will build up the courage in the next few seconds.
As the Pentecostal preacher would say, is there one more?
Actually, I'm not seeing any more at present. So thank you very much though for all the feedback taken. I think we will take it all on board in terms of what we do in the interim and in the run-up to our next planned session like this. You would have seen over the 2 days that we've gotten some work done, I think. What I've already kind of consolidated the feedback we got from the short workshop session yesterday on the policy framework document. And I'll be posting that up on the discussion forum on the CTU website there for any further comments to come in. We'll be also following up on other general policy development work and for example, on the sessions we had with digital ID and earlier on today with respect to connectivity. All right, so this event really helps to energize and inform the work of the CTU going forward. So at this point, I will stop talking and I will ask Mr. Rodney Taylor, Secretary General of the CTU, to give us his kind of impressions and closing thoughts as we move to close the 17th CIGF. Rodney.
Thank you, Nigel. I have shared some already, and I'm pleased that we were able to successfully host the CIGF 17. There was some, I believe it was Kevin who shared a link with us on a publication in relation to the history of LACNIC. And I think we've reached the stage where we can talk about the history of the CIGF and the fact that it was the first global one and the journey. Unfortunately, I believe we have not fully captured that journey, and so it may be difficult to piece it together, but I think we should make an effort to capture that story and share that story with the world. There's been a lot of rich discussion. I am pleased with the presentations by all of the speakers, all the panelists. There are a couple of things that stand out, and I was questioning June for a reason, because I know that June stumbled onto the IGF in Barbados, and the next thing I knew, June was in Geneva and participating in all of these groups and discussions. And this is exactly we want to broaden that. I keep harping on that, because there's a reason. It broadens the richness of the discourse, and you bring different perspectives to the discussion. So I think there's really, and I've reached out to Sherman, just by way of a text message to say we want to talk about the ISOP chapter, because I know firsthand that where you may have if you have a strong and vibrant, say, computer society, as there is here in Trinidad and Tobago, they tend to be the ones driving and pushing discussions around technology and internet governance. But the ISOP chapters present a really good mechanism because there's that global support by ISOP Global for them. And I saw in Barbados how it really helped to raise the level of discussion. And of course, it was never just the ISOP chapter by itself. It was other non-governmental organizations as well that contributed. So, like I said before, we should look at what has worked and continue to do more of that. We can see clearly that the collaboration is working well with the IORGs. It's almost like a fraternity. There is no turf war going on. There's definitely an effort to coordinate the discussions, to share platforms, and advance the interests of the region above the narrow interests of any particular organization. And that is more than welcome. The fellowship opportunities, I really would like to see us take advantage of that. And I think sometimes the word doesn't necessarily get up there, and whatever we can do from our perspective to use our social media platforms, we would most definitely do that. Training in internet governance, I think, is also crucial. That is how, in my opening remarks, I spoke about my own exposure to IG through DIPCO Foundation. And the CQ has embarked on a program with Diplo Foundation in an effort to offer scholarships on different courses. And I think internet governance should definitely be one of them. We successfully offered scholarships in the area of, I think it was cybersecurity diplomacy. And some of our member states benefited from that training. And I want to definitely be able to offer some internet governance. By way of the discussion on public safety, I actually attended a symposium hosted by the Ministry of National Security, Government of Jamaica. They've embarked on an initiative to do skills assessment in the area of cybersecurity for Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean, working in partnership with the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office, as well as the OAS SICPE. And there's another private company that would actually be doing the assessment. I don't remember the name right now, but that is an initiative I think we should watch, because that will go a long way in terms of understanding our capacity needs in terms of cybersecurity. So I just raised that in light of the discussion on the upcoming forum on public safety. The policy framework, I'll end on that. The policy framework, as I mentioned also in my opening, that I think it has come a long way. It is not perfect, nothing is, but we will move it further towards perfection as we continue to tweak the language. It is meant to provide guidance to our member states and to all stakeholders really, because it covers a wide range of stakeholders, regulators, operators, governments, citizens. And so I would want to encourage you to read it, continue to refine it, give us your feedback. And from our perspective, Nigel, I think we need to push it more within our member states and get some feedback periodically on how it is informing national policy and the national discourse. And I think if we are able to realize those national IGFs within our member states, that is an ideal place for us to present the policy and help that so that it informs the national discourse as well, and then that the national discourse could also feed into the regional policy framework. On that note, I think again that the organization was well, topics were great, and look forward to IGF 18 2022. And I also look forward to partnering with all of you as we move the roadshow into its second phase in 2022. Subject of course to the approval of our Executive Council and to the availability of funds. But I think there's an opportunity, even if we host it virtually, for the first half of next year, because we don't know how long we will be afflicted with this COVID global pandemic. But certainly we'd like to hit the road and rub shoulders with the communities, especially in the rural communities, and be able to present the opportunities and around the internet and the internet economy. On that note, I want to thank you all for your participation. Thank C2 staff for your organization. People like Richard, Vivek, Anjane, Louis, Michelle Garcia, for all the support that you've provided in promoting the event, facilitating the event registration, etc. I hope I haven't left anyone out. But
I would add Junior, who helped us with a panel today, in addition to all the other speakers from, of course, from the IOGS, from the UNIGF, from Facebook, from A4AI, and our two speakers today from St. Lucia as well. But in particular, I also would like us to acknowledge the assistance of Mr. Jolie McPhee of ISOC.
Of course.
Who as always, has assisted us with the live streaming. And it's a service that we have gotten through ISOC for the last several years, actually. And I always admire Jolie because he seems to support all the IGFs around the world with live streaming. So thanks to Jolie and thanks to ISOC as well for this ongoing service.
Certainly, and I want to echo that as well. So I think we've come to the end of CIGF 17. Michelle is saying he's currently on vacation, so
That's all right.
you'll say his name here.
Yeah,
So if he is on vacation and still working, we want to then extend further thanks if that is the case. All right. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Great. All right. So Jolie, will make sure you have a vacation down this side of the world next year. How is that? And on that note, thank you very much, folks, and see you again same time for the CIGF. But I'm sure I'll be seeing you definitely before that.
Thank you.
So over and out.
Over and out indeed. Bye all.